channel. So in this video I'm going to cover two things. The first thing, I'm going to cover the solution to this problem, and I'm going to do some live coding, and at the end of this video I'm going to briefly cover the procedure we should follow in the real coding interview. So before we start the real content for today, I would really appreciate that if you can help subscribe this channel, because it can help me to grow. So thanks a lot. So let's read through this problem. Move zeros. So given array nums, write a function to move all the zeros to the end of it while maintaining the relative order of the non-zero elements. So it is a pretty easy solution. So what we could do is we could have an index. So the index is essentially a counter of how many non-zero numbers are there, and then we use that to set the corresponding place to the non-zero number, and at the end we just set the rest of them at 0. So let's say we have index, or we just call it count non-zeros as equal to 1. So you're going to have the int num, let's say I is 0, I is smaller than length plus I. So if nums I is equal to 0, then we are just going to continue. Otherwise, what we are going to do is we are going to have num non-zero plus equal to nums I. And finally, we are going to start from non-zeros. So non-zeros smaller than nums.length plus non-zeros. Then nums non-zeros is equal to 0, and then we don't need to return anything. So let's do a summation for it. So everything works well. So let me briefly cover the general procedure you should follow in a real interview. So in a real interview, the first step, you should always try to understand the problem and think about some edge cases. And if you don't understand some problem description, feel free to bring the question to the interviewer to ask for clarify. So remember, don't jump in the coding part too quickly. That would be a very red flag. So the next part is to think about solution and think solution and explain the solution to the interviewer. So have a nice discussion with the interviewer about the solution, and do some runtime space analysis to justify the efficiency before you start coding. So for coding, please take care about the correctness. But correctness is not enough. You also need to have readable code, which makes the code to be maintainable, and also don't be too slow as well, because there is some limitation on the time of the interview. And lastly, don't forget to do some testing. So if you follow this procedure in a real coding interview, I would say I would be very surprised if you fail during the interview, if everything goes very smooth. So that's it for this coding question. If you have any question about anything, feel free to leave some comments below. If you like this video, please help subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.